us and Monterey and Rockwood's going to kind of be in that boat. I don't know what happened with Monterey and Rockwood, but I expect next week's going to be, same way it always is when Oneida and Rockwood get together.
Oh, it's going to be, guys. And the thing that you like, if you're an Oneida fan and for this team and for this coaching staff, they can present it as, guys, you have an opportunity here. You take them one at a time, but next week is a big opportunity for this club. And you're playing for a region championship starting next week. It started actually last week. It started actually against Wartburg, but they have it all in front of them, like I said already. And how huge is that to play for a home playoff as well? I mean, Tim has alluded to it. We're only going to have a couple of games at home this year the way that it's working out. And those home games are valuable, and we'd love to have one during the playoffs.
All right, we're going to take a break for our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about John L's got some season stats, and Mark too. The Indians, we're kind of at the halfway point right here, and so that's what we're going to look at, a mid-season review of the Oneida 2021 season when we return on the IH Sports Network.
A responsible local bank must branch out into the community it serves. At First National Bank, we realize a community bank must be a strong partner with the community. That's why First National Bank doesn't have branches, but roots that are deeply embedded in the fundamentals and foundations set forth in the past, with a vision for fostering the potential for the future. Since 1904, First National Bank has had only one focus: you. First National Bank. Your family, your future, your bank. Member FDIC.
El Rey is Scott County's home for great Mexican flavor. Located in Oneida Plaza, we're just up the sidewalk from Walmart. From our fresh chips that are made daily to our chicken or beef fajitas that are big enough to share, El Rey uses the freshest ingredients to serve authentic Mexican dishes that will be a hit with the entire family. Stop in before the game on Friday, or pop in on Saturday and watch college football on one of nearly a dozen screens while you eat. That's El Rey Azteca, open until 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 p.m. on weekends.
Banking is easier at United Cumberland Bank. ATM deposits, instant issue debit cards, and a mobile app that gives you full control are just a few reasons why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. This is Tammy Strunk, new accounts representative, and I would appreciate your business. Come see me and find out why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. Member FDIC.
Lumber King in Oneida, Tennessee is the region's one-stop shop for everything a DIYer might need. Carhartt apparel, rugged clothing that works as hard as you do. Lumber King Rental Center, a home for not only tools that a construction site might need, but heavy equipment that can get the hardest jobs done in no time. Here at Lumber King, we carry all of the essentials. Let us be your number one source for everything construction. You can visit us at 20359 Alberta Street in Oneida, Tennessee. Because at Lumber King, we deliver.
Welcome back to Kodak, Tennessee. The Northview Academy Cougars hosting the Oneida Indians tonight. Kind of looks like an old school Green Bay Packer hosting kind of a half Tampa Bay Buccaneer, but the Indians messed that up because they're out here in the smoky gray pants, and I'm saying they only mess up looking like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They look good tonight in the white jerseys and the smoky gray pants here as they get set to go up against Northview Academy. And guys, it's the middle of the season, and there's been a lot of great things happen so far for the Indians. We've had some good players of the game so far: Rylan Duncan and C.J. King and Aiden Love, and I'm missing one. Anybody remember who that was? You think? I'll think about it while you dazzle us with some of the mid-season stats.
Sprinkle it in there.
Sprinkle it in. Go ahead, man.
Dazzle.
Yeah, go ahead. You got some stats for us.
Yeah, some stats that were compiled by Ben. Mid-season stats, as Tim alluded to earlier, and looking at Oneida, of course, the quarterback duties have fell to Caden Rector a little bit. We were seeing some split time with Buttram and Rector to start the season. Unfortunately, Buttram went down with an injury, and he's in protocol for a head injury, and want to take our time with that. Of course, we're missing him. from that standpoint. But Caden is he's settled in, guys. We talked about him at the end of the game last week, and for the season, throwing the ball, he's 30 of 58. So we put the ball up about 10, 11 times a game so far. Doesn't sound like a lot, but there's balance to be found there. And we've been pretty successful there. 30 of 58, so he's throwing over 50%. And he's also getting the ball down the field. We're stretching the field a little bit, softening it up for the run game. And in the run game, the two main culprits there for Oneida, the yard gainers, and we've seen Rylan Duncan last week step out in a big way. But both Rylan Duncan and T.J. Meredith had 38 carries apiece. Exactly, at this point in the season. 235 yards for Rylan Duncan. He got a chunk of that last week. I think 98, I believe.
Yeah, 98.
And T.J. Meredith with 171. So they're the two workhorses in the backfield so far. Of course, you got to think Noah Buttram would add into that a little bit if he was healthy. But they're both averaging T.J. Meredith 4.5 yards a carry, and Duncan is 5.9, almost 6 yards a carry. So that's production from your backfield. You got production throwing the football as well with Caden. And Caden ain't afraid to run it either. He's got 124 yards on the ground for the year, and he's averaging 6 yards on a carry. And none of them were bigger than that second half run that he made against York last week. So a lot of good things going on, and then as far as the passing and the receiving, we're spreading it around to a bunch of receivers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers that have caught passes this year. That's huge for this Oneida team. And a lot of them, I shouldn't say a lot of them, most of these guys, we just didn't have that many weapons on the outside in years prior, and we're taking advantage this year in the passing game.
Yeah, and Coach May had alluded to that, in preseason, and when Ben was talking to him about having those skill guys, and they're a lot of them almost the same kid, man. They got the same skill set, and they all really good, and that's why you're seeing that so much production from so many players out there is because we've just got so many of them. There's a bunch of we got a bunch of defensive backs and a bunch of kids that can catch the football, and 7 or 8 kids there that had receptions throughout the season. We had several last week too, and really opened up the game plan last week. And we threw the football really well. Coach May had a heck of a game plan as coming out and getting Caden some throws that was pretty easy for him to make, and getting the football downfield. And like you was talking about then, that 4 or 5 yard reception is almost like a run, and that worked out well for us. And just I've been really impressed with the last few weeks.
And we've used the passing game in a way, like you said, almost like a short running game at times. Last week York was playing a little bit off, so we just ran a 5-yard stop, and we kept throwing that. Yeah. But when they cheated up and they wanted to play tight, we started throwing it over their head. So it was kind of a chess match. And Coach May, he called a nice game last week. He really did.
Yeah.
And like I said, we made a couple of mistakes. We put it on the ground in the third quarter, lost our lead, and they bounced back. It didn't faze them. And the young quarterback, he stepped right up and he took control of that offense, and he led the comeback. He
certainly did. And Coach May going into that, those offensive coaches was going into that, and we had talked about it last week at their front seven. Their front seven was really, really good, and he's seen that on film. It's going to be tough to run between them tackles. So he had to get it out on the perimeter, get it out on the edge, and make some plays, and, boy, they sure did. And the passing game did just enough, in my opinion, to soften up that front seven, and then you've seen the 98 yards by Duncan come into play when we needed it to close out the game. So nice job by the offense last week and building up to this point in the season. And, not to mention the fact that they did that in one of the toughest places to play historically for Oneida. And, we talked about it opening the game last week, but it's always tough. When you go to York, you're playing at Jamestown, it's always tough regardless of what it is. But for the first time in the history of that series, it meant something more last week because It was a region game. Absolutely. And I think that offense that we seen last week, it all started back in that last drive against Wartburg. We was having trouble moving the football, couldn't find nothing that was working for us. We turned the football over, man, and that last drive was 96 yards or something, and we got foot to foot, man. and marched her right down the field. And I believe it all started, gave us some confidence. We won that ball game 7-0. And it kind of spilled over into the York game, and we really come alive. And I felt like before that game started, I felt like, I think we're going to see something good out of our offense tonight. Or we've been seeing our defense kind of carry the load somewhat, but our offense really played well last week.
And I know we're going to get more into defense in a little bit, but was able to catch up with Mark Martin leaving the game, and he wanted, he's so humble. I mean, Mark, we all know Mark, and he's an Oneida guy, and the kids seem to love him, and he's just so smart.
Yeah.
And I made the comment, and I believe it. I mean, this is a new coaching staff. They have to meld together just like anything. And so they've come from game one to here. They've had to come together a little bit as well, and what a job they've all done.
All right, if you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, let your friends know we're up and running. Video's going to be going for tonight's game. We're excited about this. It's Oneida at Northview Academy, and we'll have more on the IH Sports Network right after this.
Home-style cooking with friendly service and a relaxed atmosphere. That's Razak's. Razak's offers breakfast served daily, just like Grandma fixed it. And daily specials like country fried steak, turkey and dressing, and of course, a fish fry every Friday. Razak's has a full menu, ranging from quick and easy favorites like hamburgers and club sandwiches to comfort foods like pinto beans. And you'll love something off the grill, like grade A cut sirloin, ribeye, or shrimp kebabs. That's Razak's on U.S. Highway 27 in Helenwood. Razak's, country cooking and great steaks.
Odds are there's a Potter's Ace Hardware right in your neighborhood, with expert advice and the right tools and supplies to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Potter's Ace has a convenient location on Industrial Lane here in Oneida. Visit the helpful folks at Potter's Ace for all your home improvement needs. Potter's Ace, the helpful place.
South Fork Physical Therapy is proud to support the Scott High Highlanders and the Oneida Indians. With offices in both Huntsville and Oneida, one of our 6 doctors of physical therapy are always close by. We regularly treat back and neck pain, general sprains and strains, vertigo or dizziness, TMJ disorders, as well as post-operative patients. We accept all insurances and flexible payment plans are available. At South Fork Physical Therapy, we strive to make your experience accessible, affordable, and enjoyable.
Scenic Foods is about freshness, with meat cut in-store daily and special cut upon request. A deli that offers fresh meats and cheeses sliced to your choosing. A produce department offering fresh fruits and vegetables, and of course a full line of competitively priced groceries to meet your weekly shopping needs. Scenic Foods is about value and convenience. Don't have time to cook supper? Try our cheese sticks, pizza, and wings, as well as our fresh-made desserts and side dishes. Need to fill an empty pantry? We have all you need at Scenic Foods, located at 7352 Baker Highway in Huntsville.
Welcome back to Northview Academy. The Oneida Indians on the road here tonight. Oneida comes in with a record of 4-1. Northview is 2-3. Not a region game, but the Indians trying to keep things rolling, undefeated in the state of Tennessee. But they'll have their work cut out for them against this Northview Cougar team here tonight. And that's what we're going to watch here in just about 40 minutes. They'll be kicking it off from Kodak. Did you have – no, you ready? Okay, so guys – you all were always, I just remember how much the teachers loved the two of you all when we were in school. And so that's what we're going to do. We're at the midpoint of the season, and usually you got a midterm grade in school. They would send it home to let your parents know, hey, Mark's flourishing in this class with Miss Brewster. That was her words about you. She said Mark's just and John Hill is a dream, and so you'd get each class graded, and so that's what we're going to do here tonight. At the midpoint of the season, we're going to give out midterm grades for the Oneida Indians, keeping in mind that the first game was Williamsburg, and then of course you've had Wartburg, you had we don't count COVID game because of Oliver Springs, but then you have, the York game and who am I missing? Greenback. There we go. So we have 4 games to look at midterm. So we're just going to start with the Oneida offense, which has you've alluded to it a little bit earlier, but what would you give the Oneida offense, as we break these categories down, I'll tell you what the categories are, just so people know. It's going to be offense, defense, special teams, turnovers, penalties, and then the record. Okay? So the offense for Oneida so far through these 4 games, what's your midterm grade?
So this is the segment where the coaches are going to love us after this, and some of the fans are going to love
they
us.
Won't. They don't.
They ain't going to give a rip what we have to say anyhow.
They have proven they could care less what you have to say.
Less.
And that's fine. Most people feel that way, but let's do it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah,
offensively, rushing.
Okay. We're going to give an offense.
Oh, you're going to
I want to break it down.
Overall?
Yeah.
Go overall.
No, we're not doing overall. I'm doing it like this. So you can go overall if you want to.
I want to go against you.
Yeah, I know you do. Rushing, I give our rushing a B. We've had, some pretty good rushing games throughout the season, and I give us a B in our rushing department, John.
And I'm right there with you. I will tag along.
Why did you mark an A down?
I was just messing with you.
He put A's on everything
He
just
did,
to mess
he
with
did.
you.
I mean,
He was going to suck up to the teacher.
I was used to my report card. What I seen on my report card. But yes, I would say a B in the rushing, and I'll lead on into passing. I'll go with passing first. I'm going to go with a B, because I think the passing game, like we talked about earlier, even though it's we're at 50% completion, we're doing enough in our passing game to loosen up the running game, and I think that may be more than we've done in the past. We've made it a point to incorporate the passing game on first and second down in some instances, and I love it. So I'm going to go with a B and a B overall.
B overall, I could go with that. But I'm going to give the passing game a C.
Okay.
I think up until last week that our passing game kind of wasn't all there, and we had some struggles before then, and it's kind of come into its own last week. So I gave it a C, but I give it a B overall on offense.
So defense, and we know it was a very shaky start. That first test was rough up in Williamsburg against a very good offense. But defense, now you draw back and look from midterm at a 4-game picture of the Oneida defense.
Our rush defense, I give it an A. I think we have stopped the teams that we've played. We've limited them to most of the time under 100 yards rushing, and have done a really good job and Coach Martin in this defense has done a really good job of stopping the run.
And I'm right there with you, an A on because we've done it in most cases. We've done it with a 4-man front. That front 4 has done a really good job against the run. Now they're backed up with the linebacking core, of course, but that front 4 to 6, they have done a really good job against the run. I'll go step on into the pass ahead of you if you want me to. I see what you've graded us in the pass. I'm going to say with the pass, I'm going to give them a B. And I'm going to kind of discount the first game a little bit because, I'll go back to my statement I made earlier. The first week, she's a liar. She's a liar, and I know, but we've made leaps and bounds in the passing defense side. And so I'm going to go with a B. And then overall, on our defense, I'm going to go with B+.
Well, I'm going to say a C in the passing.
Okay.
In the pass defense, and here's why is because the first game we had Williamsburg. That was really shaky. And then you had 295 yards passing from the quarterback at Greenback. Had a tough time stopping it there, and we was shaky against Wartburg also. We're not getting the penetration up front to get after the passer. Now, we're stopping the run great, but we're not getting after the quarterback. I think we've only got maybe 3 sacks on the season, so we're going to have to step that game up, rush up the quarterback to get that grade up a little bit higher. So I gave us a C. I'll give us a B+ overall on the overall grade for the defense.
So John L's one of those teachers. He drops the lowest score.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's teachers that do that, and that's fine. That's fair. So moving on.
A curve.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So
the next phase of the game, and it's all important this year. Absolutely all important this year is special teams.
Overall is a B. I give our special teams a B, and Aiden Love, correct, is heck, he's done a fantastic job of kicking the football.
Okay.
And is that right?
That is right.
Yeah,
I'm
listening
because I have a question.
Yes.
I might have a question. I'm just listening.
I'm going to discount week 1 Okay, I'm going to
Yeah, well, we got one returned on us. Yes.
We did, and so if I'm still discounting week 1, I'm going to give us an A-. What was the Greenback score?
17-14.
Who wins that? Special team.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that where you were going?
2 extra points and a field goal.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give us a low A- to this point. And our kick cover has been good, except week 1. And our punting game has come along nicely. We've had a couple of guys that stepped in there and stepped up. I'm going to go low A-, maybe a B+. So
I just, and we're going to break before we do the last two, but I'm curious. So B, what would cause you to bring it down? Is it the return on the first?
That and our punting game's been a little bit shaky.
Okay.
First few weeks, we've got it. We've come into our own a little bit there, but first few weeks, I'm just, I grade lower than most. It's always room for
tough love.
Well, there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, and I think we're seeing that.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. I mean, if you do these grades week to week, they are raising about every time. But we'll talk about the other 2 grades when we come back.
And they should be quick. We should be through them.
Yeah,
we should breeze through them and don't even talk about them much.
Yeah, that's what you're hoping. We'll see when we return on the IH Sports Network.
Home improvement doesn't have to break the bank. At Salvage LLC, we have everything you need to finish your new home or to give a makeover to your existing home. From a full line of laminated and vinyl flooring to interior and exterior doors to crown molding and baseboards, start your next home project at Salvage LLC. Stop by and check out our model kitchen setup for ideas on how to take your kitchen from functional to stunning. Salvage LLC is located on Industrial Lane in Oneida. Open 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Find us online at salvagellc.net.
Life is about choices. When it comes to your internet service provider, you've got a choice. Telepage. Telepage is internet service provided by local people you know and trust. Different service plans are available, tailored to provide speeds that fit your everyday needs. Telepage now offers fiber internet in select areas, with plans starting as low as $45.41 per month. Speeds up to 1 gig are available. Call 423-569-8595 for more information. That's Telepage, located at 258 South Main Street in Oneida. Visit telepage.net. A responsible local bank must branch out into the community it serves. At First National Bank, we realize a community bank must be a strong partner with the community. That's why First National Bank doesn't have branches, but roots that are deeply embedded in the fundamentals and foundations set forth in the past, with a vision for fostering the potential for the future. Since 1904, First National Bank has had only one focus: you. First National Bank. Your family, your future, your bank. Member FDIC.
El Rey is Scott County's home for great Mexican flavor. Located in Oneida Plaza, we're just up the sidewalk from Walmart. From our fresh chips that are made daily to our chicken or beef fajitas that are big enough to share, El Rey uses the freshest ingredients to serve authentic Mexican dishes that will be a hit with the entire family. Stop in before the game on Friday or pop in on Saturday and watch college football on one of nearly a dozen screens while you eat. That's El Rey Azteca, open until 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 p.m. on weekends.
Welcome back to Kodak, Tennessee, Northview Academy. The Cougars hosting the Oneida Indians tonight to get the second half of the season underway. And we are reviewing the first half of the season through midterm grades. And we got through the offense, the defense, the special teams. And we are now going to look at turnovers. That's not just turning the ball over, but it's creating turnovers, getting the ball back, and where you are in the turnover picture on your plus or minus. That's what I would say.
Well, we're definitely in the negative on that, and I wasn't thinking about that, but so I'll give us a D. Turnovers. We've had 14, John. That's way too many. We're averaging 3.5 a game. We're turning the football over way too much. That's going to end up biting you. It did in the first game. We had 5 in that one, so that's way too many. But we've also caused some. I think we may be minus 7 or 8 on the season, so I'll give us a D on the turnovers.
Yeah, and that's really just 4 games since we have a COVID win, so I'm right there with you with a D. I mean, we're 4-1, and we're fortunate in a couple of those games to overcome that turnover scenario. And this back half of the schedule, guys, it won't be that way. I mean, I'm not taking anything from the competition we played to this point, but it's only going to get tougher. And I think about playing that juggernaut that we've seen in Cofield so far, that offensive juggernaut that they're showing. I mean, you lay it on the ground 3 or 4 times against a Cofield, and you're not going to survive. I mean, I think we all know that. I think the coaching staff knows that. Yeah. And it's just something that they're battling through, and they got to keep battling.
All right. So you remember on the grade cards there used to be years ago it was called deportment, and then it was called conduct, and it was the one that you brought home and it was your behavior in class.
Is that the one where you got the smiley face or the?
Well, hopefully you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that kind of equates to this one. We're talking about penalties now. Penalties that the Indians have had through this first half of the season. Where would you put the report card on the penalties?
Well, we certainly haven't got a smiley face in that category.
You want me to go first on this one, just to be fair?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to give us a D as well on that one. Turnovers a D, penalties a D, and I'm going to discount that first game. Like I said, I'm kind of discounting that one because it was ugly. But then you didn't get much better in the next game, and almost cost you in the Greenback game, and it has gotten progressively better. Last week was better, and that's what we want to see, continuation of that. And it wasn't so much the D, it's the type of penalties that we were getting early on in the season, and then some of the situations we were getting them in, and it was coming from, and I know the coaches would probably agree, it's coming from some of your upper class kids, and you can't have that.
Right. Yeah.
Kids that have been in the program, kids that they will tell you they know better.
Well, the only reason that we're even passing on this one, to me, and I'm saying a D, is because we've done away with those personal foul penalties. We haven't seen those in the last couple of weeks. We cleaned that old garbage up and got that out. That's not like Oneida football. That's something we don't do. And so Coach May and his staff have got that cleaned up, and I'm sure they run their guts out for those type things. But we haven't seen those. You can live with a holding or a pass interference or something like that, but those are the ones that you can control. And they have cleaned that up in the last 2 weeks, so I give them a D. They get a passing grade on that one.
So just to recap, those who just joined us, offense, give us your grades.
A B.
B.
Both of you?
Yes.
A B. Defense.
I'll give us a B.
Yeah, B+.
Special teams.
B.
And I was a low A on the special teams.
Penalties.
Penalties was a D.
And a D for me, yep.
Oh, yeah, turnovers.
Turnovers was a D.
D as well.
Now we look at the last thing, and what John Madden always said is, you are what your record says you are. Wasn't that John Madden?
Yeah, that's right.
That right? You are what your record says you are. So now these are some rough grades in some areas, and now when you draw back and look and see that this team had a rough first game out of the gate at Williamsburg, and this team is 3-1 now in games completed. We have the 4-1 with the COVID win, but this team is 3-1 despite some of these low grades. So, what's the overall grade that you're going to send home for this team to recap the midterm? The little and then the little message you write in as a teacher to the parent.
I want to give them a B-. I want to give them a B- and say that needs to improve on our turnovers, needs to improve on our penalties. If we get that stuff cleaned up, then we can get up there into the A box. And we have progressively gotten better every week, John. And I think we're going to come out here tonight and do the same thing. And I give them a B- on the season so far.
And I'm going to be a B as well. What Marcus said, the turnovers and the penalties are the biggest thing that concern you, especially in a big game, because those things get magnified. In a big game, a close game, it's close in the fourth quarter, and you have one of those situations happen that either kills a drive or gives the other team good field position for a game-winning scenario. So you got to clean that up. But overall, from game one to where we sit tonight, this team has made leaps and bounds. And again, I go back to, this is a whole new coaching staff, a brand new head coach, a brand new defensive coordinator. They brought in some folks that haven't been on this Oneida staff, been around these kids. They're all melding. And so halfway in the season, you got to like where we're headed, the direction we're headed, and some of the things that we saw in the first couple of games, they're not as present as they were then. And so I'm very encouraged by what we see.
Yeah, I think we're not asking for a parent-teacher conference. Headed in the right direction through this course, don't you think?
Oh, I certainly think they are. They've improved every week. Even in the Wartburg game, you've seen them do away with a lot of the senseless penalties that you had seen in those personal foul penalties, and our offense, like I said, that last drive we really came together as a team and was able to get that win. Defense played a heck of a ball game there, man. They've bailed us out a couple of times in the last few weeks. So I really think that there's nothing but up for this football team.
And we're doing it all behind a sophomore quarterback who's only really started 2 or 3 games to this point. So he's learning as well, but he's got some good upperclassmen in the trenches and behind him running the football that are helping him out.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with coming up now. We've got Mark's Scouting Report. John L's going to let you know some facts about this series, and we're going to hear from Coach May as well as you listen to Oneida Football on the IH Sports Network.
Banking is easier at United Cumberland Bank. ATM deposits, instant issue debit cards, and a mobile app that gives you full control are just a few reasons why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. This is Tammy Strunk, new accounts representative, and I would appreciate your business. Come see me and find out why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. Member FDIC.
Lumber King in Oneida, Tennessee is the region's one-stop shop for everything a DIYer might need. Carhartt apparel, rugged clothing that works as hard as you do. Lumber King Rental Center, a home for not only tools that a construction site might need, but heavy equipment that can get the hardest jobs done in no time. Here at Lumber King, we carry all of the essentials. Let us be your #1 source for everything construction. You can visit us at 20359 Alberta Street in Oneida, Tennessee. Because at Lumber King, we deliver.
Home-style cooking with friendly service and a relaxed atmosphere. That's Razax. Razax offers breakfast served daily, just like Grandma fixed it, and daily specials like country fried steak, turkey and dressing, and of course, a fish fry every Friday. Razax has a full menu, ranging from quick and easy favorites like hamburgers and club sandwiches to comfort foods like pinto beans. And you'll love something off the grill, like grade A cut sirloin, ribeye, or shrimp kebabs. That's Razax on US Highway 27 in Helenwood. Razax, country cooking and great steaks.
Odds are there's a Potter's Ace Hardware right in your neighborhood, with expert advice and the right tools and supplies to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their stuff. Potter's Ace has a convenient location on Industrial Lane here in Oneida. Visit the helpful folks at Potter's Ace for all your home improvement needs. Potter's Ace, the helpful place.
Welcome back to Northview Academy, the home of the Cougars. This is the first matchup between the Oneida Indians and the Northview Academy Cougars, and John L's got some information on this game tonight.
Yeah, it'll actually be the first meeting, of course, between Oneida and Northview Academy. Northview is only in their 7th year of football in TSSAA, so they're infants, as it were. They began playing in 2015, where they finished with a 5-5 record. In 16, they qualified for the playoffs for the first time. And of note, they fell to Scott High 49-14 and finished 6-5 that year. In 2017, they finished with a 5-6 record with a first-round playoff exit. And the Cougars are 9-21 since that time with no playoff appearances. So very young team, Mark, as far as, just an established program. Got a great facility, a great campus here, beautiful. Yeah. Got a great backdrop with the Smoky Mountains. I mean, coming in here today with high visibility, I mean, you can see forever, and it's just a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, it don't get much better than this. Like you say, it's just a fantastic facility and a great place to play football. just the weather and everything's really, really good tonight.
One thing he mentioned, the 901st game tonight. So remember last week was game number 900, and Oneida, by winning that game, their record in these 100 games are now 6 wins and 3 losses.
I didn't mention it was a 901 game.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you took your headphones off. You didn't really care what I had to say, I think.
Well, I noticed you skipped for some reason what I had there, and I'm not sure why you disrespected me that way.
But it is neat that Coach Jimmy May got that 900th win for Oneida, and I think as we recapped, the sequence of those 100 wins, his dad was on there several times.
He was on 2, and Coach Jimmy May was a part of one of them.
Yeah,
one of the earlier ones.
How neat is that in the legacy of the Mays here at Oneida?
Four of those 100-game.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
All right, Mark. Did you have something else?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about that. Tonight is the game 901 of Oneida football, and this is the 87th year of Oneida football. We probably mentioned that a couple of times this year, and the Indians have 578 wins, 310 losses, and 12 ties as we added on a win last week. Of course, we beat York 21-10. Oneida has 57 wins and 26 losses and 2 ties in Week 6 games where we're at tonight.
All right, Mark, you got a scouting report. You going to tell us about Northview?
Well, I can. I can tell you a little bit. Some things has changed since I've done this last night.
Yeah, I was saying, Mark, that quarterback you were talking about.
John L. was calling me out before the game. We was talking about it on the way down. I was telling him all this stuff, and he was like, wait a minute. Hey, this is not right. Okay, the Northview Academy Cougars, their enrollment is 759. Overall record is 2-3. They're 0-2 in their region. With their region teams is Alcoa, Austin East, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Pittman, and Union County. The losses that they've had this year, Unicoi County 22-15, Alcoa 63-8, Austin East 42-8, which was last week. Their wins, they had a COVID win against West Green, and they beat Claiborne County 35-0. They're 0-2 at home. They're 2-1 on the road. Points per game average is 13 points per game. Opponents, they gave up 25 points per game. They like to run, John, they like to run the shotgun spread. That's what we've seen them doing out here early. In pregame, they like to run that. They'll run the read option out of it, the quarterback. And what I seen on film was number 23 for them was their starting quarterback, Alex Cruz, but he's standing over there in street clothes on the sideline, so he is not playing tonight. They're going to have number 13 at quarterback, DJ Thompson. He's going to be their starting quarterback tonight, so this totally may change what their game plan is. But what I seen on film is they'll run like a 3-receiver set to one side or the other. They'll run a jet sweep and bring the back in between the center and the quarterback, and it's almost like a shovel pass. We was debating that on the way up here, and it's like a shovel pass, but they run the jet sweep motion with that. And they like to do that. The quarterback likes to pull it and run a lot. That's what they did, before. But I don't know about now. And he would pull it, and he ran probably 70% of the time when they would run the football. 25 is their main tailback, Jamal Baker. He is the guy that will get a lot of those carries. Also. What I seen from 23 now, like I say, I don't know what this new guy will be like, but he'd throw into traffic sometimes, so that doesn't matter. On defense, they run mostly the 40. That may change. They may run a 5-man front to stop our running game tonight. They have a pretty good front four. They're big across both lines of scrimmage. We seen them out here, and they got some big kids out there on the line. Their linebackers run to the football well. That's something we seen against York last week. Is they had good linebacker play. Their secondary against Austin East was pretty susceptible to the big play. They got some through over the top, and so we can maybe exploit that as the game goes along, and hopefully we'll be able to run by them like Austin East did.
Well, I mean, you set it up similar to what we've been used to seeing. Most teams are running a spread type offense nowadays, and they're going into the shotgun, and they're letting their quarterback be the playmaker. He's instigating everything, whether it be the run or the throw, or he may have a read option in most cases. And I mean, that's just the way it is in most levels of play now in football, and everybody's integrating into that. Puts a lot of pressure on your secondary and your linebackers.
I'm not sure what our midterm report card has been as far as like these first 5 games for us.
I don't.
But I will say that I feel like we got a strong second half coming. Things going good tonight, folks. If you're watching, listening tonight, let folks know that they can do both. Not just with us, but the Sky High Pigeon Forge game is on the other channel that Independent Herald has running on YouTube and on Facebook. So hopefully everybody has access tonight, and we're hoping that maintains as we go through this, as the Indians and the Northview Cougars get set to square off here tonight. The sun is descending. It's a little more chill in the air, a little more football feeling for these teams. When we return, they're probably going to be in the midst of the national anthem, and we're going to respect that by just letting the national anthem play as it returns. And we're also going to have some information from Coach Jimmy May, who in his first season as a head coach solo, being the only man at the top, he currently carries a 4-1 record into this one. He's tied for the lead in the region, and he's bringing his team up against a bigger team, at least enrollment-wise, as Mark told you just now. So the first visit to Northview Academy is coming up. We're just about less than 15 minutes away from kickoff of this one, and we'll have more when we return on the IH Sports Network.
South Fork Physical Therapy is proud to support the Scott High Highlanders of Physical Therapy are always close by. We regularly treat back and neck pain, general sprains and strains, vertigo or dizziness, TMJ disorders, as well as post-operative patients. We accept all insurances and flexible payment plans are available. At South Fork Physical Therapy, we strive to make your experience accessible, affordable, and enjoyable.
Scenic Foods is about freshness, with meat cut in-store daily and special cut upon request. A deli that offers fresh meats and cheeses sliced to your full line of competitively priced groceries to meet your weekly shopping needs. Scenic Foods is about value and convenience. Don't have time to cook supper? Try our cheese sticks, pizza, and wings, as well as our fresh-made desserts and side dishes. Need to fill an empty pantry? We have all you need at Scenic Foods, located at 7352 Baker Highway in Huntsville.
Home improvement doesn't have to break the bank. At Salvage LLC, we have everything you need to finish your new home or to give a makeover to your existing home. From a full line of laminated and vinyl flooring to interior and exterior doors to crown molding and baseboards, start your next home project at Salvage LLC. Stop by and check out our model kitchen setup for ideas on how to take your kitchen from functional to stunning. Salvage LLC is located on Industrial Lane in Oneida. Open 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Find us online at salvagellc.net.
Life is about choices. When it comes to your internet service provider, you've got a choice. Telepage. Telepage is internet service provided by local people you know and trust. Different service plans are available, tailored to provide speeds that fit your everyday needs. Telepage now offers fiber internet in select areas, with plans starting as low as $45.41 per month. Speeds up to 1 gig are available. Call 423-569-8595 for more information. That's Telepage, located at 258 South Main Street in Oneida. Visit telepage.net.
You're listening to Oneida High School football on the IH Sports Network with Mark Matthews, John L. Strunk, Kevin Akers, and the voice of the Indians, Tim Smith.
Sponsored by United Cumberland Bank, Scenic Foods, El Rey, Ray's Axe, South Fork Physical Therapy, Lumber King, Potter's Ace Hardware, Salvage LLC, and by title sponsor, First National Bank.
From Northview Academy, your national anthem here tonight as we get set for Oneida football on the road versus the Northview Academy Cougars. Coach Jimmy May was asked earlier this week some questions by Kevin Akers. The first one was about the offense of this Cougar team.
Well, their quarterback for Northview makes their team go. Everything runs through him. He's pretty fast. He can throw the ball. There's a lot of running misdirection and zone look with them, and they'll have him fake, and he'll keep it off tackle. And very capable wide receivers, and they're pretty big. They're probably going to be one of the biggest teams we played all year up front. So we'll have our hands full trying to contain him.
All right, and then you've got the offensive picture of the Northview Academy Cougars, and that has changed a little bit. From what we know, there's a different starting quarterback tonight. It was Alex Cruz, but tonight it's going to be Donnell DJ Thompson at quarterback, and he is a freshman starting at quarterback here tonight, something Oneida knows a little bit about from last year. What about the Northview defense?
Their defense, they're basically out of even front of 4-3 a lot of times, and they'll bring him out of the box and if they've got more than a couple of receivers out there and try to get numbers on them. They're 4 down linemen, or they're pretty big. The biggest front 4 we played all year. They come up the field very hard, and I try to use that against them. But it's going to be a challenge for our linemen to handle them this week.
All right, so there you have the offense and defense. The Indians have dealt with some injuries through the year. So what's the health status of this Oneida team coming into this game tonight?
We still have Nick Gilbert still out. He'll get an X-ray again Saturday to see how much he has improved from his injury. And Noah Buttram is still out, and hopefully he'll get cleared next week. This is the 4th week he's been out, so we just got to take precautions with any kind of injury like that. And other than that, that's all ones that are injured right now that can come back in the next week or two.
All right, so Coach May gives you the injury update there, and we are closing in on 5 minutes before kickoff. We're going to have Coach May's final thoughts, and we're going to set the scene and have the opening kick. It's the Oneida Indians at the Northview Academy Cougars, and it's coming up next on the IHSN Sports Network.
A responsible local bank must branch out into the community it serves. At First National Bank, we realize a community bank must be a strong partner with the community. That's why First National Bank doesn't have branches, but roots that are deeply embedded in the fundamentals and foundations set forth in the past, with a vision for fostering the potential for the future. Since 1904, First National Bank has had only one focus: you. First National Bank. Your family, your future, your bank. Member FDIC.
El Rey is Scott County's home for great Mexican flavor. Located in Oneida Plaza, we're just up the sidewalk from Walmart. From our fresh chips that are made daily to our chicken or beef fajitas that are big enough to share, El Rey uses the freshest ingredients to serve authentic Mexican dishes that will be a hit with the entire family. Stop in before the game on Friday or pop in on Saturday and watch college football on one of nearly a dozen screens while you eat. That's El Rey Azteca, open until 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 10 p.m. on weekends.
Banking is easier at United Cumberland Bank. ATM full control are just a few reasons why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. This is Tammy Strunk, new accounts representative, and I would appreciate your business. Come see me and find out why more Scott Countyans are choosing United Cumberland Bank. Member FDIC.
Lumber King in Oneida, Tennessee is the region's one-stop shop for everything a DIYer might need. Carhartt apparel, rugged clothing that works as hard as you do. Lumber King Rental Center, a home for not only tools that a construction site might need, but heavy equipment that can get the hardest jobs done in no time. Here at Lumber King, we carry all of the essentials. Let us be your #1 source for everything construction. You can visit us at 20359 Alberta Street in Oneida, Tennessee. Because at Lumber King, we deliver.
Going up there on the road again, we've only played one game at home so far. We lost one to COVID, so this is our 4th trip on the road. We're going up to Northview to play. It should be a good night for football. We're going to have to try to contain their size and be able to block them. and we're going to slow their quarterback down and their receivers because they've got a lot of skill. But, it's a challenge for us. I think it's, a game that we match up well, and we can try to take care of business and, try to get us another win because, you want to win all the games you can because you get any tiebreakers. One of the tiebreakers is overall record. So you want to especially win all these non-district games. But it'll be a challenge for us, and you can't wait to get up there and see how it goes.
All right, so we're about to see how it goes, just less than 3 minutes away from the kick for this one, the Northview Academy Cougars. And we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, in case you heard us, that they look a little bit like the Green Bay Packers. But before we describe that to you, I do want to say welcome to Oneida football here tonight. Let your friends know where they can access it if you're already joining us. Kevin Akers is intently bringing you the play-by-play.
Mark Matthews with a little color.
And John Strunk.
All right, yellow pants with the green and white stripes. They have green jerseys with white numerals. They have a yellow and white stripe on the sleeve. They have a yellow helmet with a green N emblazoned on each side with a green and white stripe on the front left side. They have the white jerseys with the orange numerals. And, of course, the white helmets with the orange stripe down the middle and the orange O for game number 6 on this season. The Oneida Indians, of course, Mark, and Oneida looks like John L's going to tell us about the captains and the toss and what has occurred here. Go ahead, John.